One of the things that I found interesting, is that the casting of the movie proved very difficult, as Gary Oldman, who was the director and the producer's first choice to play Cyrus, who was eventually played by Malkovich, turned down the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really weird when you think Gary Oldman could have been the guy.
Yeah.
Because Malkovich played that
Cyrus the Virus. Really well. Yes. And when he turned it down, a who's who of 90s actors were also considered for the part, including Bruce Willis, Kevin Bacon, De Niro, Ed Harris, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Sean Penn, and Alec Baldwin.
I don't think Bruce Willis would have been good because Willis was always the good guy at this point.
Yeah.
It's not like Robin Williams in that 1 hour photo booth movie where
right.
Bad guy, you know.
Right.
Bruce Willis was firmly a good guy and was not going to do anything else.
All right. But the final four came down to Malkovich, Mickey Rourke, pre-plastic surgery, William Dafoe, and John Travolta. Rourke even pulled a hunting knife and razor on Simon West during the audition.
That's how you get the part right there.
Obviously,
yeah.
Yeah.
No wonder he didn't get any good acting roles for decades.
Yeah. Travolta was rejected because he and Cage were working on Face Off at the same time.
Yeah, that would have been weird to them doing, two movies. But I don't know. Travolta would have made a good Cyrus, I think. Because Travolta was going through that phase where, he could play both bad and good characters.
Yeah. Willis and Alec Baldwin were considered to play the part of Cameron Crowe as well, along with Seagal, Arnold, Kurt Russell, Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and Van Damme.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Garland Green was written for Tim Roth, but it went to Steve Buscemi.
So it went to Mr. Gray instead of Mr. Green.
Yes. Vince Larkin was written for Cusack, but wasn't written.
It was written
for Cusack. Sorry, but Charlie Sheen, RDJ, and Matthew Broderick were also front runners.
So let's talk about this real quick,
okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Brad Pitt, I don't think could have played Cameron Poe. He was just too young and babyface looking.
No, then he could. He could have back then.
Well, this is around about 7, Tom.
Yeah.
Nicolas
Cage was too old to play Cameron Crowe. Poe. Sorry, not Crow. I'm thinking, anyway. Almost famous. Yeah. No, but Nicolas Cage was actually too old for the character. The character graduated the West Point at the Academy, and Nicolas Cage looked 35 at his graduation when he would have only been like 23.
But then, as the end of his sentence, he looked the right age.
But it's 8 years.
True.
8 years, so he still would have only been 31. Nicolas Cage looked every bit of I'm pushing 40.
True.
So Nicolas Cage was too old to play the part. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong.
But he was too old to play it. I can concede that one.
Pitt would have been a better age fit.
Well, that's probably why I'm thinking Pitt would be too young because Nicolas Cage
was so old.
Yeah, I mean.
But then again, Nicolas Cage was like born looking 37.
True.
So I mean, I don't know.
Okay, then what happens if they pulled Seagal into this one? Because he was in his mid-40s when this was done.
Yeah, it wouldn't have worked.
Arnold, they'd have to rewrite the backstory, I think, for a lot of these characters, a lot of these people.
Steven Seagal, no, that would not have worked.
Tom Cruise, I can't picture Tom Cruise doing that, especially that time. Tom Cruise, I don't think he'd done an action movie since.
This is before Mission Impossible.
Yeah, this is pre-Mission Impossible, and this is long after Top Gun.
Yeah. It was post-Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, he was more actor rather than.
But this was around Jerry Maguire, wasn't it?
Just before, yeah. It was about a year before. It was a year after Jerry Maguire. Excuse me.
He could have done it.
Mission Impossible.
He could have done it.
Yeah, but at the time,
it wouldn't have been that great.
No,
though.
I don't think so.
No.
And who's the last name on the list? Van Damme.
No.
Never mind. Say no more.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's the thing. Right? You couldn't have two guys playing American soldiers in Van Damme and Arnold.
Yeah, no.
You couldn't do it. Let's look at the bad guys for a minute. I don't think any of those bad guys that were in there, Bruce Willis, Kevin Bacon, blah, 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 they all could have pulled it off, I think. Because there was
Bacon definitely could have done it.
Because there was no age limit on Cyrus the Virus. Cyrus could have been a young guy just starting his prison sentence or a lifer.
It said that he was, was it? He was 45 and he'd spent over 23 years in prison.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, but Kevin Bacon definitely could have done it.
Yeah.
And done it well.
Yeah. I think Buscemi could have pulled it off too. Even though he went in for another part, he could have pulled it off too.
He could have done it. But Buscemi's also one of those people who was like born
looking
43.
80. Yeah.
Yeah.